The build-up, or as some like to call it, the horse racing poem, by Noodle E. String. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this year's build-up in the top end. Many of you might have noticed the crowd thinning out, the team getting smaller, ready for the changeover, let the season commence. So far it's only early, the game has just begun. No one scored in any outrageous behaviour as yet, but I'm sure all punters are getting ready for the wet. Tempers are starting to flare, fuses are getting short, everyone has their ears peaked, ready for the whistle, ready for the gun. And they're off and racing, but some are heading down south. These people will be disqualified as they've only left us all behind. No way will they be locals if they're not good enough to stay and sweat it out the rest of us. Then there's no way we'll ever call them bro assists. And surprisingly enough, there's still a good few in the long grass. These are the hardcore locals who seem to want to persist, living on the cheap without the power and gas, but we know sooner or later they'll come running to us, looking for a room or just somewhere to sleep, and by that time, of course, the rents won't be as cheap, and they might have to double up, sharing with the rats, possums, cockies, lizards, bats, since everyone will be inside, hiding from the sun, sheltering from the rain, and by this time, of course, we could have a wet season that counts. In fact, the score could be as high by then as it was in '78, when old what's-your-name ran naked down the street, bleeding from his earlobes right down to his very feet. But until then, we'll have to wait and see and feel what it's going to be like, so I best be on me bike, down the road for a stubby or two, Darwin ones that is. Then I'm off to Melbourne for the November Cup, but I'll be back in time for Chrissy, as her and John should have split up by then, as these two are running in line for the Contestants Awards, breaking early from the stress and strain of build up, it's already here. God's truth almighty, give me another beer. Hip hip hooray, look at the tourists go, they're leaving towns in packs and drove, the thunder's about to blow, and blow at will with lightning cracks of crash and storm. Build up 2011 is here, and whoa, is it going to be warm.